I'm Duncan McLeod, and this is TCS Plus, brought to you today by MTN. Now, I'm really excited about this next interview because when this product was announced a couple of weeks ago, it really grabbed my attention. It's a product called SuperFlex from MTN South Africa, and it's do-it-yourself mobile plans with pretty aggressive pricing. Now, to talk about SuperFlex and everything it's offering and the impact it's going to have on the market, I'm very pleased to welcome Bertus van der Vyver into the TechCentral studio. Bertus is GM of the consumer segment at MTN South Africa. Bertus, great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Tell us a bit about SuperFlex. What is it? Why has MTN introduced it? What you're hoping to achieve?
Yes, Duncan. So we're very excited about SuperFlex, and as always, it always works when you start designing a proposition and actually base it on real customer feedback and insights. And what we did was we went out and spoke to customers, found out what is it in the telecoms industry that maybe they think are missing, what's missing and what's frustrating them. Mm-hmm. And we got different things from different customers, but starting with a customer in the center is really important. And some prepaid customers, as we know, majority of South African telecom users are prepaid. They said, they would just wish they can also get the benefits that typically is only exclusive to postpaid customers. Recurring benefits, big bundles, lots of calls. And they said, they'd like that. But they also said they don't want the commitments to contracts. They don't want the paperwork. They don't want the kind of all the hassles of signing up on contracts. And that got us thinking. And we said, sure, let's see if we can actually design something that speaks to that need in the market. That says, I want the benefits of something that looks like postpaid, but with the flexibility that comes with the typical prepaid proposition. And that is what SuperFlex is.
And this is a prepaid product, right?
So it is something
or
in between.
Hybrid.
It's something in between. Yes,
okay.
It is. It's kind of the best of both, Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's really special. There are lots of customers that goes, on the postpaid, and that's what I'm used to. Prepaid customers, this is what I'm used to, and this is something really in between. And I think that's what's going to make it really special for customers.
Let's before we go any further, let's talk about what SuperFlex offers specifically. Now, this is an online SIM-only proposition, although you can bundle a handset with it, I believe.
Yeah.
But the idea is that you purchase this online, you do everything you need to do online, and you choose the size of data you want, and then you get unlimited calls and SMSes with that. There's a 10 gig, a 15 gig, and a 20 gig option, yes. And these are priced at?
So the 10 gig comes at $299, the 15 gigs at $399, and the 20 gigs at $479.
$479.
So $299, $399, and $479. Yes, and unlimited calls to South African networks, unlimited SMSes, and then you just choose your data that you want to add onto it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's quite extraordinary that you're offering unlimited calls. I presume that the decline in call termination rates has helped you here. This is not just MTN to MTN calls. This is MTN to any other network in South Africa, including MTN.
Yes.
And it's genuinely unlimited?
Yes. So yes, it's unlimited calls, unlimited SMSes to local South African networks. So whether it's MTN or one of the other network operators or fixed line numbers. So yes, it's actually truly unlimited. There is no fair usage policy. There isn't something that says, well, it's limited to 3,000 minutes or something like that. It is truly unlimited. However, it is aimed and according to the T's and C's, it's quite important to be really transparent with that.
Sure.
It is for consumer purposes.
Right.
So this isn't, we don't want somebody to use this to run a call center or something like that. This is for normal Joe that's in the street living and kind of needs a service that's for their own personal use.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd be able to tell if a call center was using it, for example, I guess, because of the volume of calls that are going through and the duration of those calls.
So as part of our technology implementation, we are looking at how people are using it, and obviously, the expectation is that it gets used in a phone, and we can pick it up if it's not used in a phone. The expectation is that there's a bit of a distribution of numbers. Most of us don't call 1,000 different numbers in a month. We call a set number of friends and family or contacts, etc. So we've set some criteria and to help us decide whether we believe this is intended for personal use or whether it's maybe used for something else. Yeah. But for normal consumers, for you and I that kind of need to kind of call the kids, call the grandparents, maybe call the shop here or there, etc.
Or have a long weekend conversation.
Or have a long weekend call. I mean, if you want to speak to your mother-in-law for 3 hours a day, that's also fine, So yes.
What's really astonishing about this, at the $299 price point for the 10 gigabyte option, is that just a few years ago in South Africa, you were probably paying more than 299 Rand for 10 gigabytes of data without any calls. Now MTN is throwing in unlimited calls and SMSs on top of that 10 gigabyte allocation. I presume you have well-paid actuaries who've crunched the numbers and know that this is actually going to work financially for MTN and that you're not gifting your customers here and that MTN is going to be the loser at the end of the day. I presume you've crunched the numbers. This makes sense for MTN. And I presume, since it's a prepaid product effectively, that it could even have the impact of driving up your average revenue per user, given that your ARPU, or the ARPUs in the industry are sitting around 60, 70, 80 Rand a month, and this package starts at 300 Rand a month.
Yes.
Just take us through the numbers and the finances behind this.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, you've mentioned that a typical prepaid customer, depending on where you are, spends, maybe from 35 Rand, maybe to 300, 400, 500 Rand. And yes, there are prepaid customers that maybe spend 2,000 Rand a month.
Yes.
But really looking at where the bulk of the customers are, we had a look at the number of minutes that the customers are using, the number of megabytes that the customers are using. And we really wanted to say, how can I make sure that if the customer maybe spends 299 Rand, which is maybe for some prepaid customers a little bit more than what they're spending, but also for many other prepaid customers, they're actually spending a lot more than that and maybe not quite getting that value. So what we said is, let us ask the customer to spend 200 or 299 and more, and really make sure that we give the customer a lot of value. And so far so good. We looked at the numbers and it is, we also said that it is a 6-month promotion, and it's something that we're really testing. We're testing the market to see, is the proposition, does it work? Is it attracting customers, and what's the usage like? So
Okay. So it's a 6 months trial. What happens after that?
Yeah,
you may just continue it.
Yeah. So I guess we can make a decision to discontinue it, but we generally don't create new products to discontinue them unless there are no customers that want it type of thing. But so far we're seeing a good response.
You're 2 weeks into it so far, just over 2 weeks into it. What is that response like, and which of the 3 products are consumers drifting towards?
Yeah. So I don't know, without letting the cat out of the bag, but it's probably expected that the bulk of customers are always going to go on to the lower price point, the 299 price point. And we're seeing good, but we also seeing a good mix of some of the other bundle sizes. And we're seeing customers taking up from various areas in the country. It's not everybody in Sandton. It's not everybody in the rural areas. Really speaking to a broad segment of customers. So there's some customers that are choosing to add devices, and others say just the SIM only is fine. So really getting a good response. And I think maybe many customers also say this is too good to be true. And I think as more and more customers are starting to use it, the word of mouth will be, this is actually a very good proposition, and there are no catches. So and then I'm sure it will become even more popular.
Well, take us through how it works. How do you sign up? First of all, as a new customer to MTN, and then perhaps as someone who's already on MTN and wants to switch to SuperFlex. How do you go about this?
Yeah. So firstly, is when we spoke to customers, everybody told us we are very comfortable buying online. Customers are buying their food online. They're buying, expensive TVs online, whatever. So customers said, very easy. I can go and shop when I want to. So we said, okay, let's enable the exclusive online journey. Customer just Googles MTN SuperFlex or go to mtn.co.za, pick SuperFlex, and then really in 3 clicks, the customer says, all right, on the house comes unlimited calls and SMSes, and there's an option for you to go and choose how much data you want. So step 1 is choose how much data you would like. Step 2 is, would you like to have a phone? And there are phones ranging from, I don't know, sub 2,000 Rand to probably 10,000 Rand.
So it's not all handsets, it's a selection of handsets.
Yeah, selection of handsets. And then step 3 is, tell us how would you like to pay and where you want me to deliver it. And customer just put their credit or debit card details in. Obviously, the typical bank authentication happens for the payment. And then a day or two later, your SIM arrives at home. So at this stage, the proposition is aimed at customers needing a new service.
So you pay your first monthly.
Yes, yeah.
$2.99 or whatever it is.
Exactly like you would be buying your Disney Plus or Netflix. You go on there, you pay now, you pay your $2.99, and in 30 days, another $2.99 will be paid, and maybe 60 days later, another $2.99 will be paid.
Do I, as a prepaid user, have to put money into a wallet or something? No, it just comes off your debit card.
It just comes exactly like you would be paying your Netflix. So 30 days later, you'll just see there's another transaction of $2.99.
So it really does behave like a contract, yeah.
Really, it is. So, but what is, the flexibility comes in that says, if after a month or two, I think that, maybe the 10 gigs of data is too little, let me rather have 20 gigs of data. Literally on the MTN app, you just go and say, let me have some more data, please. Or imagine maybe you signed up for the 20 gig package and, I don't know, 2 or 3 months later, the interest rates goes up and you go like, I need to kind of tighten the budget a little bit. Then go to the app and just say, from next month onwards, let me have less data. So really the amount of data and how much you pay every month is really in your own hands. You can go and change it. To be quite honest, you can go into the app and say, let me unsubscribe. And from the next month, we wouldn't take the money. So really putting the digital journey in the customer's hands and making sure that the customer has full control over what they spend, how much they spend, and for how long they would like to spend it.
Seems like an ideal application. I know you said that once you sign up and make payment for whichever plan you choose, that the SIM card is then delivered to you by MTN. I assume that, though, that this particular proposition is quite well suited to Esim. Yes. Or embedded SIM. Do you plan to launch Esim around this proposition as well at some point?
Yes. So when we launched, we said, here's a service for customers that needs a new number and a new SIM. And we already have a roadmap in place to add additional functionality. Customers have already said, gosh, no need to deliver a SIM. I've got a phone that can take an eSIM. So very, very soon we'll allow the customer to just use the service via eSIM. And it's
entirely automated without involvement by MTN at all.
Yeah. So I mean, again, on the digital app, the customer will go there. So I've got a eSIM capable phone. The journey will send the customer an email with a code or a little QR code that the customer scans, and it will link it to the phone. So the eSIM journey will be really, really seamless. And if it's a customer that already they have a number that they would like to keep, we will soon also enable that for customers. So if you have an existing prepaid number with MTN, whether it's a MTN number or a portability number, soon we'll enable customers to say, which number would you like to keep? And then you can have SuperFlex on that number.
And if you're a contract customer who sees value in this and you want to keep your number and move to SuperFlex, do you convert your contract into a prepaid account and then switch to SuperFlex?
Exactly, yeah. So because the billing methodology is very, very different. So typical contract customers, so the bulk of customers obviously took a phone and they're part of a 24-month contract or 36-month contract. So obviously at the end of the contract, the customer has the choice to say, would I like to have another phone or not? And if the customer feels like, maybe I don't need another 24-month contract where I can get a phone and I'd rather want to go to something else, customer can just switch to prepaid and then join SuperFlex from there.
Interesting. And in terms of value adds, I know that MTN customers are used to things like data rollover. I think it's actually an ICASA mandated thing. There's data sharing as well, which may also be an ICASA mandated thing. Do you get data rollover on these plans, and are you able to share the data allocations with other users?
100%, yeah. So SuperFlex allows you to share your data with 5 customers. Okay. So you can just go into the MTN app and say, well, here's a list of customers, and I can actually say which customers I would like to share how much data with, and then it works, and that customer will benefit from, I don't know, the 500 megs or the 2 gigs or whatever that you want to share with them. So that's standard feature of the product.
I know that's very popular with families, with
Very,
children.
very, very, very popular.
Saves them buying separate data contracts for every member
Dad
of the
is funding the data.
Exactly. Oh, you know this too well, do you?
No, very well.
Good. So, Bertus, what was involved in developing the technology platform that supports SuperFlex? What was it built on? What was involved?
Yeah. So I'm not the tech guru, but I think because this is a digital-only proposition, we really made sure that there's a really smooth journey for the customer. So the online journey, the interface that customers that they get exposed to, really making sure that it works as well as on a computer as well as on the phone. So the digital journey really, really, really slick. Very few clicks, etc. So that part very seamless, and then, quite importantly, because it's aimed at a customer that's really comfortable, working in a digital environment, we also made sure that the after-sales support requirement is embedded into the MTN app. So we really looked at the needs of customers and said, okay, fine, what's the top 3, 4, 5, 6 things that the customer will need service on? And we really made sure that all of it's actually embedded in the application. So the customer can go and obviously download the app, and in there monitor the data usage, add on additional bundles, change their plans.
And this is all through the regular MTN app?
Through the regular MTN app. And actually there's a bit of a special edition of it, look and feel of it, because the SuperFlex was designed with simplicity in mind. And sometimes people think simplicity is easy. Simplicity is actually very, very difficult
to get right. Yeah.
Yes. So we really spend a lot of time to make sure that the proposition is simple, because if it's really simple, it reduces the demands on servicing afterwards. So as an example is when we designed the data bundles, we said you can use the data bundles anytime. It's not nighttime data and daytime data and only works on certain days of the week or only certain hours or certain apps, etc. Let's make it simple. If you're buying 20 gigs of data, you decide when and where you want to use it. It's not like can only use it at the office or only at home or only certain regions, etc.
Or only 3 a.m.
or 3 o'clock in the morning kind of stuff. So really simplicity there. Same with the calls there, so it's like, not having to worry about on-net calls, off-net calls, again, really, really, really making it simple. Even actually the journey to unsubscribe, making it really, really simple. If you make it simple, then customers understand it, and then they can service themselves, and then the customer don't have the need to ever call a call center and maybe wait
which
a minute.
Which reduces your costs, which allows you to bring down the pricing as you've done here.
100% right, 100% right. Yeah. So
can you actually walk into an MTN store and get support for SuperFlex, or is it an online-only proposition?
So the support that one would probably require, the only physical support one would probably ever need on SuperFlex is maybe getting a SIM swap if you need a SIM swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a normal SIM swap process in place there. But other than that, all the service requirements is actually on the app, so you won't need to go and if you change your credit card or whatever on the app, go and change the credit card. If you need to change your bundle, you just go into the app. If you want to get an invoice, go into the app and ask for your invoice, etc. So with simplicity, we really made it. We made it easy and smooth journeys for the customer.
I believe security was also a key component of your development of this platform. Tell us a little bit about why that was such a big focus.
Yeah, so obviously, and rightfully so. When anybody buys anything online, there are sometimes some dodge people, and we wanted to make sure that the customers have peace of mind. So as I mentioned earlier, if you gonna go and capture your banking, your credit card details, etc., your CVV numbers, all of those type of things, making it sure that the payment platform that it gets used, that it interfaces with all the appropriate authentication from the bank, etc. So really making sure that that's in place, because taking customers' money is a sensitive matter, number one. And I think number two, obviously in the delivery process, we really need to make sure that I deliver the value, if you order the phone and the SIM, etc., to the right person. So really making sure that when I get to deliver it at your home, at your office, and the person is Duncan McLeod, we go like, okay, fine, this is actually the person I'm dealing with. Whether there's biometric authentication at point of delivery, whether there's an OTP, making sure, and then obviously the typical RICA compliance, making sure that we've got the proof of residence, the proof of identification. So making sure that all of those security measures are in place to protect the customer.
Is RICA done at the point of SIM delivery, or is it done in the app?
The RICA is done at the point of SIM delivery, but the RICA can also be done in the app. So if the customer choose to...
Either or. And the service won't work until it's
the bulk of customers actually prefer to just do it at point of delivery,
Yeah.
because it's just easier.
Of course. Okay. And do you have a third-party logistics partner that does that for you? Okay.
Yes,
and then you
yes.
collect the RICA data from that logistics partner and keep it safe.
Yeah. So all of that's in place. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Bertus, last question. Where does SuperFlex go? What can we look forward to over the next year?
Yeah. So, we decided, firstly, it's a very, very, very different and very different and special proposition, creating a new segment into the market, which we believe there's a big need for. With our customers also told us, yes, they use their phones and their data, but they use it a lot for streaming. They use it a lot for streaming, and we said, okay, as part of the launch proposition, we said all customers will actually get a Disney subscription, a 6-month Disney subscription on us, on MTN. So for the first 6 months, your Disney subscription is paid by MTN. At the end of the 6 months,
data though will come off your allocation.
Will come off your allocation. Yes,
it's not like a zero rated or anything.
No. and at the end of the 6 months, the customer can decide. If they don't want to continue with their Disney benefits, that's fine. If they want to, then they can again just go into the app and subscribe.
So might you look to do that with other streaming companies down the line?
You are going exactly. So customers are saying so, and the proposition is a DIY. You build it. You change it. You build it on the and we definitely plan to add a selection of additional content providers to it that customers can go and build and add the things that they love.
And other price points potentially as well for consumers who may want 5 gigs, for example, at the lower end, or 50 or 100 gigs at the higher end. Is that a possibility down the line? So
again, we aimed at simplicity and having a very limited range, and it's early days, and we will see which options are more popular. We'll also look at the customer's usage and so on, and based on feedback, if we see customers need a bigger data allocation or something in between 10 and 15 or something, we will definitely look at that. But at this stage, the options are. I think the options are sufficient, and again, not wanting to make it look like all the other propositions where you need a PhD to really understand what you're buying. So
I was the only one.
So some industries are very good at complicating things, and with SuperFlex, we aimed at simplicity and transparency. So that's really important for us.
Yeah, well, that's great to see in the telecommunications industry, because there has been too much complexity historically.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So just again, if anyone wants to learn more about SuperFlex or sign up for the service, it's on the homepage of MTN South Africa, which is mtn.co.za. Just look for the SuperFlex button.
There you go.
Banner and click it.
Or just Google MTN SuperFlex and it will take you straight there.
Can you sign up in the MTN app as well, or do you have to go through the website first?
So the bulk of customers will sign up via the MTN.co.za. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Excellent. Bertus van der Vyver I've lost your title, Bertus. You give it to us.
That's General Manager of Consumer Segments in MTN.
MTN. Thank you, Bertus, for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you. My privilege. Thank you.